In this video, I'm going to show you how to turn your artwork into beautiful greeting cards using scrapbook paper and envelopes you already have. I'll show you how to measure and size your image, the card, and envelope so everything coordinates perfectly. So let's get started. It's time to figure out what size all of my cards are. And these little gems are ones I've scanned and printed. So they're very mini. Oh, here's one that looks like it's ready to go. This is the idea I'm going for. Finding some scrap paper. If it's cardstock scrapbook paper, then I have a card ready to go. I've added a bit of fabric down the back there and put my image right on top. Here's another one. Oh, here's another one. So I have a couple ready and I wanted to just keep going. Look at this. I don't know what I was thinking. Here is, oh look, and it's already glued together. But okay, we'll work on that. My fabric was like a satiny fabric. And when I put it on, I thought, oh, wouldn't it make a great book? What if we inserted some papers inside and made this a book cover? So that's one idea. Although, if I could get it undone, maybe I'll just use it as a card. And here's one more. I'm going to be looking for patterned paper that would be the card backing. But the idea really is I've got to find an envelope to go with this. So that's why I have this huge bin of envelopes that I grab from thrift stores. And that's great and all, but not everything I make is a good candidate for certain envelopes. So sometimes if it's long enough, it's not going to be wide enough. So in this case, I would probably trim a bit here. It looks like one side's longer than the other anyway, but now my sides are really long. So I don't know that that's a great envelope. So before I make any more, I need to size my images to the envelope. And because this was such a fun project of making these bunny images, they were all created like this. And then I cut the pages. They could still stand some trimming, I think. And then I really wanted to do something on craft paper. And I'm so happy with these. But now it's on craft paper and they're really big. So what do I do? So this is the process of getting my scrapbook paper and my envelopes and deciding how to make these. This is some nice color back here. How about these? Oh, that's a navy. Well, kind of a purpley navy and some. Let's look at this. So if this was really, you can almost see the light through there. Let's work with these and do my craft paper ones first. Let's measure this out. That says 7 1/4, 7 1/4, 5 1/4. So that's the max I can do. So 5 by 7 card is what we're aiming for. So a 5 by 7 card, that means we're going to be trimming him down. But I also want a backing paper. So maybe 5 by 7, we'll do 4.5 by 6.5. Following up on what I said, my envelope was 7 1/4 by 5 1/4 inches. And that means my card, the best fit for the card would be 7 by 5. But my image, I need that to be, let's say 6.5 by 4.5. So if I make her 6.5 would be up to here. Let's hope her 4.5 ears will still fit. Looks like they will. 4.5. Okay, we can trim her down. This is tricky because my craft paper is not even. So I'm just going to leave her there like that and just start hacking away. And eventually I will get down to what I need her to be. All right, we're looking for, where's my Tammy map? 4.5 across. So 4.5 would be right at that ear. I'm going to move it over. Give it some breathing room. Does she look straight enough? Maybe I can trim the top. Let's make her straight. So this will be my straightest edge. Right? And over here, we said 4.5, period. 4.5. Yeah, right to that ear. There we go. So my sides are done. Now for the top, I want 6.5. What does 6.5 look like? To here? Well, that's ridiculous. She's not going to be 6.5. She's barely going to be 6. All right, let's trim this bottom. That is not a straight edge. Oh dear. Not a good start. Although we could do the torn paper look. What do you think? All right, what do you think? Is she good enough? Should we leave her? She's really crooked, so maybe trim that top. If we line this up on a line, maybe this line, make her as tall as possible. And Tammy, you did it again. You know, there is a way to solve that problem, and it's by putting another piece of paper underneath it. But hey, makes it look like we're doing arts and crafts and not high-end art. All right, there she is in all her glory. And let's find a scrapbook paper for her. In all my collections, I have this one that is craft paper. Very heavy, heavy paper. And not that I really think it's got a good Eastery feel. Well, here's some floral. Kind of get lost in that, don't you think? So maybe not the craft paper with craft paper. And we'll see. Maybe, what do we like over here? That's really dark for a spring themed picture. The gold's pretty. Kind of goes with the bit of paint we had used. Blue's kind of nice. Let's see what else we got. That wouldn't be bad. A light craft paper look. No. No. Maybe. Maybe. Maybes. Lots of maybes. Another yellow. I do like that yellow. I've used it before on that other card. And this green. All right, I'm going to save the green. I found some paper that I really like that would work best with this bunny. And maybe we can even do a ribbon behind it. So this paper is 12 by 12. My bunny ended up being, where's my corner? There's my corner. Ended up being 4.5 by 5.5. So much smaller than what I anticipated. But for my envelope, I want to cut my scrapbook paper to be a 7 by 5 card. So when I fold 12-inch paper in half, I'm going to get 6 inches. I only need 5. So I could save myself a whole inch. I need my scrapbook paper to be 10 inches. So when it's folded in half, I will have the 5-inch card. So actually I'm saving 2 inches of this pretty scrap paper. I can use that somewhere else. And then I only need it to be 7 inches tall. I've got it at the 7 mark. And there we go. Oh, here's my tip on folding paper. Ta-da! Is that the easiest thing? I love having that edge and then it's folded. Such a great time saver. Now I do have lots of space on top and bottom. What if we did some type of fabric or ruffle or another trim of maybe paper, a backing paper behind that? Let's try that. Everybody needs some solid scrapbook paper. So let's see what we can do in here. A purple. This blue. That looks really pretty together. Wow, that's nice. What else we got? I got a green. I do have a purple. What's calling to you? I think purple's calling to me. So let's save some of this. Now the question is how much? I'm thinking maybe a strip, so it would peek out here and peek out here. Doesn't have to be all. And I would do fabric, but my craft paper, this was packing paper out of Amazon, and it's fairly thin. So I think I'd prefer using paper behind it, because when you glue it all down, it might get pretty lumpy on my bunny there. So I think I'm going to start with, let's see, maybe this much. Yeah, how do you like that? Go to the dent. Go to the fingernail mark. And if we hate it, we can always go back. I am not in the mood of saving every piece of inch of paper. It's just getting to be overwhelming. Now, come on, who doesn't enjoy shopping? I mean, come on, we're crafters. It's all about the supplies we want. We want more, we want more. We don't have the perfect thing. What did we say this was? 7, right? Yep, 7. So let's give this a trim to 7. And we should have a good match for gluing down. Always have some scrap paper for my glue. I really like this Elmer's Craft Bond. It's extra strength. I'm gonna make sure that those corners are good, because the rest is going to be under my focal point, my image. I am eyeballing this. And I always like a warm hand press. Kind of set that glue. And then here's our friend, our painted bunny. What a great project that was. Very freeing. I don't typically play with acrylic, so that was fun to get those out and just go for it. Again, I'm eyeballing it. Oh yeah, crinkle. See how thin that paper was? Man, that is so fun. Now you can write your greeting, mail it off in your envelope. Look at that. Great fit. Great fit. So that's my project of trying to match something we've created to fit it into a pre-made envelope. I appreciate your time. I'm so glad you could join me today. Give this video a like. I would love if you could comment and subscribe. I appreciate all your support. Thanks for following.